Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Pay attention, son. This is for your own good.
Look at me, I'm a big shot. I have a phone. I don't wake up in a dumpster every morning. I probably have a pocket to keep my phone in, too.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
I love Jello Pudding Pop. My son Theo loves Jello Pudding Pop.
Pleased to present for your consideration.
Well, let's start the insanity.
Crack pipes here, get your crack pipes here.
You're a crack pipe vendor?
No, but the government is.
The government
The government
is vending crack pipes?
What I heard today is that there's like a 30 million thing to produce crack pipes to people.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
So they get safe crack pipes. Because if you're going to use them, you might as well use a safe one.
What's dangerous about a random crack pipe?
I'm sure something.
It's not like,
I don't claim to know.
It's not like the needle exchange where you're getting somebody else's blood on your needle.
Yeah. They're probably doing that too.
Well, they do that already, but crack pipes.
There's a crack pipe program. Look into it.
Wait a second.
That might be QAnon. I might have read that on QAnon, but
You are an active member. So crack's illegal, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah.
But they're going to produce crack pipes for an illegal activity?
Sounds like it.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
The whole world's crazy. So
Yeah.
what's one more crazy thing?
Yeah. Walter Sobchak asked the question, has the whole world gone crazy?
Well, this is,
Am I the only one that cares about the rules? He said that with more expletives than
who
I
is
had
that?
it.
I know that name.
That's Walter from The Big Lebowski.
Oh, that's right.
That's John Goodman
Yeah.
with a 9mm in a bowling alley.
Mark it a 0. Great movie.
Your toe was over the line. Mark it 0, dude.
Mark it a 10, man. Oh, that's a great movie. Later in the show, we're going to talk to super friend Frankie.
Super
who
friend
sent
Frankie.
us some food, and so we'll have a riveting conversation with our pal Frankie. That'll be good times. He's has worked with the NSA, cybersecurity, and so we asked
He's
him.
way too smart for us.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. We already recorded that episode, the interview, so we asked him. It was a good conversation.
Really
so
good.
you want to hang out for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said some stuff that I had to ask him to explain it because he's way too smart for me.
Smart guy.
And that's why I think that we're his guilty pleasure.
We had a theory about that.
Right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I think we're his guilty pleasure because he's smart. And he hangs out with a bunch of smart people. And then he's like, you know what? I can just kind of turn that part of my brain off and listen to these two idiots. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm glad to be of service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who'd have thunk?
Who would have thunk? We'd be doing this 21 episodes in, almost at a half a year.
We're almost at our half birthday.
Almost at our half birthday.
Maybe we should get some suggestions what to do for our half birthday.
I mean, I'm not a huge drinker, but I think once this podcast hits 21 legal drinking age, we should be throwing shots down every now.
I am huge, and I am a drinker. Take that for what you will.
Yeah. Well, you guys cleaned out a dead guy's house one time recently.
Yeah.
For somebody that basically paid you, hey, this guy, we're going to sell this house. Can you clean everything out? And he used to own a liquor store.
That's right.
So you got a bunch of...
I had boxes of booze.
Which was crazy.
Right? I mean, it was trailers and
Some
trailers
weird
of
stuff,
trash.
too.
Yeah, he was given the library of freaky novels and weird history books.
That's right. You had a bunch of Nazi stuff and
I think the dude was a weirdo.
some paintings that were pretty
Creepy.
He had like the same painting that he'd paint over and over, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And it was it was real creepy.
yeah. It was concerning.
You ever feel weird drinking a dead guy's stuff?
No,
Oh, okay.
nope.
Well, we use their dishes because they were throwing out the dishes. We're like, hey, we could use some dishes. So we got
Yeah.
a whole set of dishes.
Right.
I do feel a little weird once I'm like,
I mean, I didn't take like open bottles of stuff. Like they were all
okay, that's-
sealed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was on my list. Biden passing out free crack pipes. I thought that's really interesting.
That's a real thing.
It's a real
I'll have to
thing.
look it up.
Yeah,
That's
you
crazy.
You'll have to look it up.
Is he getting more votes for that? Like the crackheads vote?
I don't know. It's got to be something. They don't just do things for nothing.
Maybe here's the deal. This is where we're going. Because you know Biden's he's lost a step. Oh.
What?
Yeah, you're combing the beard. I like that. Yeah, Biden's lost one or two.
You don't think it's just a
steps.
stutter?
He's lost a step.
I remember getting in an argument back in the elections. He's with someone that's like, It's just a stutter. Quit making fun. And every time he does something, puts his foot in his mouth, I'm like, just stutter? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's lost
Okay.
at least one step.
Yeah.
But maybe somebody said to him, or maybe he overheard, you had to have been a crackhead to vote for Joe Biden. And he's like, we're giving away crack pipes, right? To all my constituents.
If you don't vote for Biden, you ain't a crackhead. Then he said
something like that.
We're not getting into politics tonight, though.
No, we did way too much of that last week.
Next thing, what do you think about Trump?
Is he retired?
I don't know.
What's he doing?
It's weird to me that, like,
I hear everybody say it's kind of like Tom Brady's retirement. Everybody else started talking about it before we heard anything from him. Everybody's talking about Trump. I don't ever hear from Trump.
I'm sure
does he doing rallies still?
I think so.
You don't ever see it on the news, or I don't at least.
Only time I ever hear about Trump, which is so interesting, is from the late night hosts who keep saying that they never wanted to talk about him again, but all they do is talk about him. That's the only place I hear about Trump from.
Yeah, and I don't hear about him at all.
Even QAnon, we don't talk about him anymore.
Even at your group meetings?
How
often do you guys get together? Is it weekly?
It's every Tuesday night.
Okay.
We do taco night, lasagna night. We mix it up.
Okay. That's good. What's your are there ranks in QAnon? Are you like
we can't talk
lieutenant?
about that.
Okay.
No, we can't get that far.
All right.
Yes, sir.
But Taco Tuesday, you can talk about that.
Yeah. But that's the only time I ever hear about the T-Man. That's what I like to call him.
Mr. T.
Mr. T. Mr. T. Rump.
I wonder if he could do the mohawk. I don't know if he has enough hair up top.
How old is he now? He's got to be 80, right? Or getting there. 79?
Which guy are we talking about?
Trump. T. Rump. Oh, Mr. T. Both of them.
Mr. T.
They're probably the same age.
They're probably the same age.
That'd be a good
Have you seen the
factoid.
Mr. T commercials yet? Aaron's rental stuff?
No.
Oh, you're going to have to Google it because they're just great. It's got the A-Team theme song and then Mr. T pitying the fool that he's spending too much on a washer dryer.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll have to check that out.
Does he still look the same?
He does.
That's so crazy.
Still got the same mohawk. It's awesome. It's really good. You asked me about his chains when I brought that up.
Yeah.
So he gave all his chains to charity, and if he ever wears chains now, it's all fake.
What a loser.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, sold them and gave it to charity because he felt bad that he's wearing all this stuff.
Huh.
So I have a broke tip.
Okay.
Broke dad tip.
I have a broke tip too. Whoa.
We didn't even talk about it. So I've been fixing cars, I think, every weekend for the last 27 years.
Every weekend you got something.
And I'm like,
going on.
another thing's broke. And it's because we have older cars.
Yeah.
Except for my wife's. So we bought a newer car for her, but she drove old cars forever. She always took one for the team if we got a new car. She would start out driving it, and then inevitably it'd be, hey, I'm going to have to drive that because now I'm driving all over the Northeast or whatever. I need more reliable.
You need one that's... Yeah.
So she's always taken the lesser vehicle. Always, always, always. So, and she wanted to do it again, right? I told you that she would rather me buy a motorcycle and keep driving a piece of crap. So we got her a newer, nicer vehicle, reliable. But the kids have cars for kids, right?
Yeah.
Older cars. But what that means
Tonka.
is... What?
Tonka. Cars for kids.
That's right. So what that means is I'm always on call for repair. And my daughter's car, she's had 2 cars in the last year, and both of them were just like, okay, time to fix the next thing. Time, like the ghetto comb you got going in the beard. That's perfect. Yeah, man.
That's
I like
my
it.
new thing.
Yeah. You
Don't
can
mean
have
to distract you.
a pick in your hair and a comb in your beard.
Yeah.
Well, I guess just
I'm going to go the
a comb
whole
in your beard.
show with it.
So I've been on call for repairs.
Yeah.
So then
You're even on call with me for repairs.
That's true. That is true. And your dad. Sometimes your dad.
And you're my second dad, so that's why I call you. I know my
it's
dad's
all
not going to know.
coming together. So anyway, getting to the broke tip, my son's car, which hasn't really had many issues recently. We had to put a couple grand into it a couple years ago, but it's been going pretty good. High mileage. But we've just been maintaining it, try to keep up with the oil changes, check all the fluid, all that stuff that you're supposed to do. So anyway, he called me from school end of last week. He got back to school from an away game, basketball game. And a year ago, his serpentine belt broke while he was driving. So all the dash lights came on because your water pump's not working. It's not charging your battery.
That. Yeah.
He pulled over. He did the right thing, pulled over, found a parking lot, and called me. I went out, looked at it. Sure enough, serpentine belts broke. Went and bought one. I showed him how to change it. Yeah. On that car, it was difficult. I had to take the passenger side front tire off to get to it. Anyway, we worked together about an hour late, maybe a little more. But one of the things he noticed when the serpentine belt broke is that he had no power steering.
Oh.
So he was at school the other night, about 9 o'clock at night. He got back from his game, and he called me up. He's like, I think my serpentine belt broke again. And I'm like, dude, we just changed it a year ago. It should last much longer than that. Now I'm thinking we got other bigger issues if this thing keeps breaking. Right?
Yeah.
So I said, well, what do you got on the dashboard? You got lights on the dashboard, battery light. Is it engine overheating? Because all that happens when your serpentine belt breaks. He's like, no, nothing else is going on. It's just hard to steer. I said, okay, probably not serpentine belt. Stay there. I'll come to you. So I go there. He's got no power steering fluid. So I run out to the store, get some power steering fluid.
If we listen to this tip much longer, we're going to have to give out free timeshares.
That's fine. I pour the power steering fluid in, and it just starts spraying all over the ground.
Oh no!
So he's got a pinhole in the power steering line. So anyway, I tell him how to drive it without power steering. We get it home, and I try to ghetto rig it.
Yeah,
and it doesn't work. It just blows power steering fluid all over the place. So then I start researching online because I don't want to buy this line because it's too expensive and it's too hard to get to like all the fittings and the ends of the line to hook this thing up.
Yeah.
So I find this stuff made by Fernco. Now, Fernco's only ever made plumbing fittings that I've known of. They make this stuff called Power Wrap, and this is the broke dad tip.
Okay.
Everybody buy Power Wrap and keep it in your car.
I've never heard of it.
It's $15. You can fix any hose. You can fix a copper plumbing line in your house. You can fix black pipe. You can fix 10-inch diameter plastic pipe that's pressurized. So the power steering line's pressurized. So you mix up this putty, you stick it over the hole, and then they've got like a fiber mesh that's coated in resin. You put some water in this little foil bag and you squeeze it all together so that it mixes, and you just wrap this thing on and you keep it tight. And it dries hard as a rock, hard as metal. So I did that last night.
Wow.
Here's the problem. They give you gloves. They say you have to wear these gloves because the stuff, it can irritate your hand, and it dries so hard. It's basically epoxy.
Yeah.
But one of the critical elements is you wrap the pipe. It takes 15 minutes for it to start the cure, and you have to keep tightening it because it'll unwrap itself. So I'm laying on my back underneath the car that's jacked up, and I'm just steady tightening this thing after I've wrapped it around 10 times. Well, these are one size fit most gloves.
Okay.
So they fit at the start, and then they rip while I was working on it. So I'm getting, and I can't stop. It says you have to keep tightening it for 15 minutes. Don't stop, or it won't work. So I go 15 minutes getting this epoxy resin all over my hands, and you can't really tell. My hands are raw. I had this stuff on my hands I couldn't get it off last night. I tried vinegar, goof off, dish soap. I was using like Brillo pad. Nothing was getting this off. It dried hard as a rock.
Yeah.
I worked all day today with this crap all over my hands. Finally, at the end of the day, I poured gasoline on my hands and used pumice stone and rubbed this stuff off my hands raw. So
now you're untraceable by the FBI.
that's right. So the second tip is get gloves that fit, not the ones that come in the kit, but buy Power Wrap, $15. You get breaking your radiator hose while you're driving. Any line on your car, this stuff's going to fix it. It is awesome.
Power Rap sounds like a Christian rap compilation disc from 1992.
It is also that. Do you remember the Power Team?
No.
Did you ever see the Power Team when you were a kid?
Were they the lifters?
The lifters that ripped phone books in half, and that was the Power Team.
There's a show called The Righteous Gemstones, and they make fun of that.
Oh,
this
really?
New season.
Yeah.
About the Power Team.
So that's your broke tip. $15. It's going to repair. Look, it's a $100 part. Yep. If I went to have it fixed somewhere, I'd probably spend $300-$400 with labor.
I'm pretty sure that's probably what the problem is with my
$15.
Because I've been driving. I was driving around with no power steering for forever. And then I stopped driving that car. So
yeah, we can fix it. $15. Go get it. Keep it. Ace Hardware had one left on the shelf.
Oh,
but he said he sells a lot of it. Huh. Go get it. Keep it in your car. Wrap. You won't regret it. $15.
My deal of the day, or broke dad tip.
Yeah.
I think it's only through, I think maybe the 23rd. Sonic 99-cent pretzels. You wouldn't think, I need to go to Sonic to get a pretzel.
Yeah.
They are some of the best pretzels on the market.
I've never had
them
one.
Up against Auntie Anne or whatever this place. Oh, they're so good.
Do they have cinnamon?
They don't. It's just a regular pretzel. It comes with a cheese dip that's really good, too. In fact, I don't even use the cheese dip with the pretzel. I save it. I get 2 snacks because I take it home and I eat the cheese dip with, like, a tortilla chip. It's the pretzels are good. They're 99
salted?
cents. If you use the app. You got to use the app.
Salted pretzel?
It is a salted pretzel.
Okay.
Yep. Very good.
If I go to, like, Annie Ann's which I haven't been. And here they don't have that. They have pretzel maker.
Well, they
in
have
the mall
Annie
here.
Ann's in the Lincoln, Nebraska mall.
I always go with the
looked it up.
cinnamon sugar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to. You know where it has? They have pretty good cinnamon sugar bagels at Sam's Club.
Bagels?
Not bagels.
Pretzels.
Pretzels at Sam's Club.
Oh, like microwavable?
No, like.
Oh, you
I
can
don't
just
know.
buy it at the.
Yeah, you can go to the little restaurant deal they got going on there.
I was at Sam's Club a couple weeks ago with
Pretty
Hunter,
good.
and we did get some food at the spot when you check out.
I do. Yeah,
It's good.
we've been there. I've gone in there to not buy anything at Sam's Club, just to eat dinner with the family. Not because it's the best, but I mean, you
It's
eat there
cheap.
for $18 for everybody.
It's broke dad approved.
Speaking of broke dads and doing broke things, you ever do any dumpster diving for stuff?
I did when I was a kid. You know the grossest thing as I look back on it in terms of dumpster diving?
What's that?
Is I grew up in an apartment complex, and
Yeah.
so there was a dumpster
Yeah.
for
Like a
you know,
legit
two
dumpster.
giant units to dump all their trash, and it got picked up a couple times a week.
Yep.
Because it was one dumpster for, I don't know, 50 families or something. So they were unloading that thing every 2 or 3 days. But people would like throw their mattresses out. Oh. Now, we wouldn't salvage the mattress,
Okay.
but we'd go jump on it and wrestle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And
yeah.
as I look back, I'm like, that's gross.
Eh,
Like I was rolling around on somebody else's stuff.
pretty gross.
Nasty.
Yeah.
But we'd like jump off the top of the dumpster onto the mattress and
Yeah.
pretend like we were wrestling, like WWF wrestlers or whatever. That's
pretty gross.
Yeah, looking back, that's gross. In Scroon Lake, New York, my son named it the chip dump. I think everybody just call it the chip dump. So behind the grocery store, when the guy that delivers the chips to the grocery store,
Yeah.
he would kind of cull out all the ones that are outdated,
Oh,
and they'd
okay.
all go in this one bin. So
Yeah.
the kids would go dumpster dive for outdated potato chips.
I heard of a lady in I think she was in Alaska, and she ate for a whole year out of Whole Foods dumpster diving. Yeah, she would just go behind the
I
Whole
just heard a
Foods.
story like that too.
Yeah, we might even talked about it on the show. I don't know, but yeah, she.
I don't think we
she was in
did, but I
Alaska.
just heard some story where this lady has like pretty decent meals from
Yeah,
the dumpster at Whole Foods.
I mean, I don't know if you've been to a Whole Foods, but like
no,
legit stuff.
you said it's not my tax bracket.
Not yet. That's my goal. I don't need to be rich. I just want to be wealthy enough to eat at Whole Foods
To
and feel
shop at
good
Whole
about.
Foods regularly.
So when we lived in an apartment complex, when my kids were actually, I had one kid, and then we had another while we lived there. Tiny little apartment in Overland Park, Kansas. And one time we had a neighbor that threw out a wagon, like a legit kids wagon.
Yeah.
She used to haul her dogs around in it. So I saw it.
It was like the radio flyer wagon.
Yeah, but it was a nice plastic one that had
Yeah.
like the little doors
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
buckles and folded up into seats.
Yeah.
And I'm taking our trash out one night and I see it in there and I'm like, it looks totally intact.
Yeah.
I pull it out. It's got dog hair in it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to hose this down. I hose it down. It was, I'm not kidding, perfect condition, brand new condition.
Right.
Once I wiped it down. And we used that thing for years. We used that thing up until this house. So almost 10 years. We
Yeah.
had that thing. We all the time take it to the zoo or whatever.
I got
And,
a grill once off of somebody's sidewalk that they
Oh,
put
really?
out for trash. I was like, yeah, and I wheeled it 2 blocks to my house. I rolled it right down the sidewalk because I didn't have a grill.
We used to, when we lived in Lewisburg, Kansas, we were living in a pretty small town, awesome little town. But there's one side of the main road there that there's 2 neighborhoods. One we lived in was kind of lower middle class, and the other side was upper middle class and some wealthy. And once or twice a year, they would have Big Trash Day. I don't know if you've ever experienced Big Trash Day. Basically, they say, put out your big trash, your furniture, your things like that, and we will pick it up on these days free of charge.
Yeah.
So we would always go out. I would go out after midnight on Big Trash Day.
Oh.
And I would go to the nice neighborhood.
You were shopping.
Oh, my gosh, the things that rich people throw out.
Did you rent a U-Haul?
No, but I would
Man,
take
that's the way to do it. $20 for a U-Haul, and or
I would
40
take
bucks or
several
whatever?
trips back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, we have shelves that we still use to this day that I got there, like all kinds of crap. And sometimes you get something like I have a fireplace that's actually in the next room over that they're using for a prop for a church thing, and it worked, and then it didn't work, and now it's like, okay, we'll use it for a prop, and then we'll throw it out. But like all kinds of stuff that you just wouldn't think. But
Big Trash Day.
Big Trash Day, they'll take
We need
anything.
to look into that.
Yeah. So I'm not above dumpster diving.
But not for food.
No,
Like
I've never
the
done
Whole
food.
Foods trash can. I don't know if I could do that.
One tip
I
is
mean, if I was starving, I would, I guess, right?
when you move it. Yeah. When you're moving, do you know where the best place is to look for boxes?
Home Depot?
Liquor
Walmart.
stores.
Oh, yeah.
Liquor stores. They have nice, heavy, thick
That's
boxes.
right.
So everyone thinks you're drunk when they're helping you move. And we've moved so much now that we don't even get rid of the boxes after we move. We just store them somewhere in our house. So we got a big pile of boxes somewhere, and they're all liquor boxes. So people probably
Yeah,
think
I bought boxes the 2 times that we moved.
That's crazy. I'll never buy a box in my life. I'll move in a hefty bag before I buy boxes.
Yeah, I bought boxes and bubble wrap and tape, and Honey went to town. I don't think
That's
I
a good
packed
thing
it down.
about not having nice stuff. And people always ask me, like, if you break my couch and you move it in, okay, it was a crappy couch. If you break a dish, okay. Like, we don't even barely need to wrap stuff when we're moving. We'll just, okay.
Well, you have dead
If it
guy
breaks,
dishes.
I got dead guy dishes. There we go. I'm not above dead guy dishes. Speaking of dead guy,
Yeah.
I had this written down. Do you think about death? How often do you think about death?
Well, what type of thinking? Like, do I look forward to it? Yes.
Oh, I didn't do it. No, just thoughts of death consume you. Like, oh, I could be dead this time tomorrow. I could be. No?
I'm ready to go whenever it happens.
So you're not afraid of death?
No. No. I would prefer not to suffer,
Yeah.
you know? Like, I don't want to drown or die in a fire.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I have those thoughts occasionally. Like, that'd be a crappy way to go.
Yeah. I don't think I'm afraid of death either. I think I'm pretty
Yeah.
good with whenever, however.
But I'd like to be, I don't think I'm prepared. Like, I haven't prepared myself in terms of what my family needs.
Let me tell you about Jesus Christ.
If I were to go, right, I'd like to
Yeah.
have them in a better spot. You know,
Yeah, I
if
got
was
you.
supposed to roll out.
Yeah, and like I think, I'd love to be around for my daughter's wedding and all that. This might be a really sad episode if we both die in a fiery wreck on
If
our
we
way
kick
to
it, if
Fogo
we get
de Chao.
electrocuted by these microphones tonight,
Yeah. That would be weird.
let's try it. Nope, I'm good.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I hear, I guess I think about death a lot, but it
Do you?
doesn't, yeah, I probably do.
Huh.
Not
Yeah,
in like
I
a
don't.
dark way, but like I
I
wonder
think
how
about
it's
that.
going to be.
I think about the afterlife.
Yeah.
I don't think about like the
I
process
think
of
about
dying.
that too. When someone dies, you always think, man, they know now.
Right.
They know what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I think about that stuff. I don't think about like the actual process of dying.
Yeah.
I just want to go quick.
So you don't
whenever
ever
it happens.
think like at some point this year, you will live the anniversary of your death day.
the pre-anniversary.
The pre-anniversary.
No, see, your mind goes to a
So,
place
like-
because you're always thinking about like the time and man, this time yesterday.
Yeah.
It was only this time last week we
Yep.
were, and I don't do that so much.
Some
Once in a
call-
while, I catch myself doing it.
Some say a beautiful mind.
Yes, you do have a beautiful.
We may
mind.
talk about that later in the podcast.
Ooh, really?
That's
Well,
like
you
a
talk-
pre-throwback, but a pre-back. I don't know. People watching this episode, you'll understand what that means later in the episode.
Deja.
Deja.
What's pre-ja vu?
Pre-Déjà vu.
That's what that
We
is.
just made that up.
Pre-ja vu. I had a question for you.
So like
'cause you-
December 12th might be the day you die, and you live it every year, and you're like, man, I'm gonna one of these years. This is gonna be my anniversary death day.
Right.
It's like your birth death day. Anyway, go ahead. You got a question for me?
It's a pre-anniversary
Yeah.
though. Would you want to know, like, if you could know the day you were,
Pre-monoctum.
Braveheart? Michael Scott has
That's
to
a Michael
apologize,
Scott
right?
joke.
I did not know what that meant. I must apologize.
That's one of the best scenes
Oh,
from The
so
Office.
good.
Yeah.
I watch The Office almost every night while I'm cooking. I put that.
I'm
on
about
while
ready
I'm
to start
cooking.
it again. It's been.
I just keep it rolling. I'm on the last season. I'm probably like 2
you're
episodes
the
from
worst.
finale.
Once Michael leaves, it's like I gotta get.
It's
through
not
these.
as good, but I
No.
watch them because they still make me laugh.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
still funny parts. But yeah, while I cook, I just put my phone up there and I don't really watch it. I'm listening to it.
I listen to
'cause I'm cooking.
podcasts when I do stuff like that.
Yeah, I like The Office, just kind of scrolling all the time. So here's my question: you're talking about dumpster diving. You mentioned
Yep.
the lady that lived off of Whole Foods dumpster diving for a year.
Yeah.
I was thinking about foods that I won't eat if it has some topping on it that I hate. Like I can't even just peel it off.
Sour cream for me.
So if sour cream's an ingredient, you're out.
I'll taste it. I can't do it.
Is there anything else?
That I won't see. Like black olives, I hate, but I'll pull them off. I
Pull
will
them off.
Not
There's
eat
not
a
like the
pizza.
flavor of black olives that is
Yeah.
residual.
Man.
What about mushrooms? If mushrooms on something and I can peel it off, I'm probably not eating that thing.
Yeah, mushrooms are pretty bad. I can't get down with mushrooms either. Mushroom sour cream.
Here's why I asked that question,
Yeah.
because my son is just like I am. McDonald's hamburger,
Yeah.
no pickles, no onions. That's how we order it.
No onions either?
No pickles, no onions. And if it has onions on it, you can wipe them off and you're still okay.
love
But if
the
it's got the
onions.
pickle on there, the pickle juice gets on the bun and it ruins the whole thing.
I couldn't go through life like that. Because I bet every other time you go there, they have the pickle on
They
there.
mess it up all the time. I'm asking for less stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to save you money.
right? I'm asking for less stuff. I know it's not the standard way you make it, but I'm
Yeah.
asking for less stuff. But anyway, I wondered that because he orders it the same way I do.
Yeah.
And he doesn't order it that way because I did. He orders it because that's how he likes it to taste, right?
Yeah.
But he's just a lot like me in that way. And I thought, I wonder if there's a thing, because you told me you love pickles and you told me, like, man, there's not a lot of things that'll keep you from eating something, but sour cream is the one.
Sour cream's it, man. I can't handle sour cream.
Is it texture, flavor?
No, it's not texture.
You don't
'Cause
like how it tastes?
No, just the sourness of it. Yeah, it just tastes gross to me. And my mom, every once in a while, will try to sneak it in a recipe. Like she has
Oh, you know it's there?
for dinner. And she's like, I wasn't going to tell you. Because I'll say, it's that sour cream, and is it not?
Yeah.
And she's like, I wasn't going to tell you.
Why does she do it if she knows you can?
Because she doesn't think I can detect it, I guess. It's only happened a few
You're
times.
sour
but
cream hound dog.
I'm a hound dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what I don't like. And I have a pretty good palate. Like my wife, I'll make things sometimes, and I'll think, she'll think they're good. The kids will eat it, and I'll take a bite. I'm like, whoa, I can't eat that. No.
Yeah.
Like I have a very sensitive palate. But sour cream is mainly the one thing that I'm like, can't do it.
Yeah. Pickles and mushrooms, I think, for me.
Super Bowl plans. It's by the time we people listen to this, it will have happened.
Look at number
Last
3
night.
on my list.
Super Bowl party.
Everybody's invited. The reason I can do that here on YouTube's and the interwebs and podcast nation, whatever, is because this episode will air after the Super Bowl.
That's right. It'll be
So you're all
Monday.
invited. If you don't show up, you're a loser.
And the Rams will have won. We'll see.
I think. Yeah.
You're wearing their colors, and you're wearing a Ravens hat.
yeah.
I
I
think
never
the
thought
Rams
about
will win. And yeah, we're gonna have it at your house.
I think we're going to have a Super Bowl party at my house. I think we should.
I told you earlier because you're like, oh, we'll talk about what we're gonna bring. I already know what I'm bringing.
I told my wife right away when I got home from work.
I've been stocking up because there's a wing shortage, as you may very well know. You all listening out in the interwebs, there's a wing shortage. Been going on for a few months now.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the grocery store, there's normally no wings.
I've looked for the last 3 weeks.
And I go to
have not
Hy-Vee,
found
Super Saver. I go to different places. There's normally no wings. Every once in a while, you see one. Every once in a while, you see maybe two
Yeah.
packs. Because I like the fresh wings. I want to
Oh,
either cut
yeah.
them or I don't want to get a bunch of frozen wings. I've been buying them for 3 months when I see them. Whether it's
they're-
one or
They
two,
better be frozen now.
they're frozen now. And, they're thawing now in the fridge. But I got like 8 to 10 packs of wings.
Yeah.
So we're going to be good on the wings. Everyone else in this whole town is probably not going to have
They'll
wings.
be wingless.
We're going to have wings.
I saw places selling thighs now in place of
Crazy.
wings.
I know, yeah. I've seen it too.
That's upsetting.
And we will have the wings.
Awesome.
We'll have the wings. So
Can I tell you the
I've been
secret?
thinking that. And I've been doing it just for Super Bowl. Because I thought the Chiefs were going.
You look. You are food smart,
I'm food smart.
man. You're my hero. I'll tell you the secret to the greatest wings I've ever had. At the Crab Shack
Oh.
on Kent Island, Maryland.
So you're saying they're better than my wings. Okay.
They're real good.
I never
Yours
had
are-
them.
yours are
Never
good,
been
too.
there.
But her secret, I don't know if I can give away the secret.
Just give it.
She pre-fries,
Yeah.
but not in full. Pre-fries, she gets them fresh.
Yeah.
Pre-fry, freeze.
Okay.
And then when you're ready to cook that order, you pull them out of the freezer
Throw 'em in
and
the
you
oven?
fry them again.
Oh, you fry them again.
So you pre-fry not the full
Yeah.
not the full cook time,
Just get a little.
just to get a little
Get a little
crisp.
color, yeah.
Then you freeze them,
Huh.
and then you refry. And man, those wings!
See, I wonder if that's more of
I don't know if it locks in the flavor or the juices or something. I don't know. It's so
I wonder.
good.
I wonder if they do that out of necessity, though, because sometimes I will make like this year. I will make
It makes them cook faster to order.
yeah, exactly. But it can have added benefits. Like this year, I will make the wings probably on Saturday, and then they will be in a bowl with a bunch of butter and the sauce.
Yeah.
And then before the Super Bowl party, I will take them out of the refrigerator and I will dump them on a pan where I will then broil them probably for.
So they're actually soaking in the flavor.
So they're soaking in the flavors
And
all
then
night.
The broiler
Then
locks
we'll
it in.
broil them, and they're going to get crisp.
That's
so
probably
they'll have
the
the flavor.
Same.
Same,
I think that's
similar
same.
thing. So that's what I do sometimes.
Maybe that's
I have
why
to make
your
a
wings.
bunch.
Maybe that's why I love your wings already.
Yeah,
Because
and
it's
I don't
like the
always
Crab
do
Shack
that.
pre-fry refry.
But I will always let them sit in the butter. And it's really soaking up that butter is what
The
gets
butter's critical.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why restaurant food's so good because there's so much butter.
That's steak.
Cook a steak
since
with
I
butter.
learned it from Gordon Ramsay. I've never cooked a steak. With
I always
butter.
throw slabs of butter on steak.
Well,
So yeah, Super Bowl party. We're gonna have to figure out what to do for the kids because they're not all of them are gonna be into the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I can set up a TV and do like the Wii Sports or whatever, or
Do
they
that.
can bring whatever that thing you got for the
Switch.
kids. Yeah, they can
Do
hook that
Switch.
up.
yeah, it'd be a good time as long as we can watch the game.
Well, we'll be in the sunken living room watching the game.
We'll kick the kids out.
Kids will be in a different room doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm excited
And
for
mucho food.
it. Yeah, and I'll be just getting back from. We're taking a
you're
one-day
doing
trip
a
to Kansas
quick
City.
overnight
We're going to
too,
do taking my kids to a Winter Jam. They're going to see their favorite band Skillet on Friday night. I told them this morning. I told them what we're doing because they've been waiting.
Were they fired up?
No, they were like, huh. And I said, we're going to go to Chuck E. Cheese on Saturday before we head home. Chuck E. Cheese, Chuck E. I'm like, this whole trip is revolving around seeing your favorite band. I think they were excited later. It just took them a while.
Is there a Chuck E. Cheese closer to here than Kansas City?
I think there's one in probably Omaha or maybe even Lincoln. But
Save yourself some dollars. Just drive them to Chuck E. Cheese.
well, we're not taking them. My grandparents are taking them to Chuck E. Cheese.
What are
so-
you doing?
No, I'm still going to go to Chuck E. Cheese. But
Oh,
yeah, I get that with some Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
yeah, man. A couple
Yeah,
video
so
games.
it's going to be a quick trip, and then we'll be back and Super Bowl party. And
Any concerns with your vehicle before you go on this road trip? Are there any signs or symptoms?
since I'm only going no, it's been running fine.
Get
Since
yourself that power wrap, Fernco power wrap.
I should. See, I'm
your
going
broke
only
tip.
going 4.5 hours, and I got you on this end, and my parents are actually going down too, so they'll be on the other end. So I got
they're
people
going
on
ahead of
each
you?
end that
Oh,
can
yeah.
rescue us within an hour and a half to 2 hours. So
Perfect,
we're good.
yeah.
We're good. I'm not really worried about this trip.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, should we take a quick break and maybe we'll go ahead and interview Frankie, and then we'll come back and do a little news.
Let's do that. I have to go potty.
All right. Sounds good. We'll be right back with Mr. Frankie Downs.
Hello.
Franklin Downs. Can you hear me?
I can't take this call. I'm waiting for the lead singer of Cloud of Witnesses to call here.
Well, Frankie,
Kind of
you're
a big
on the.
deal.
You're on the. We, for those of you who
so
don't
good.
know, me and Frankie grew up together, and since that we kind of lost communication, didn't really talk, and then with this podcast, it's brought us back together, which I love. But yeah, we
That
had
is true.
competing bands back in the day, because I believe you were in.
I wouldn't use the word competing.
Well, we did steal
I think
one of your
that's a
main
generous
members.
word.
What was it? So your name of your band was Myrrh, correct?
Myrrh.
You-
Yup.
You guys couldn't have gone with frankincense?
Oh, see,
Oh,
that would have been
brother.
perfect. Or maybe you would have been
we could've gone-
frankincense and the rest of the band was myrrh.
Yeah, we could have gone with a lot of other things, including not having a band.
Maybe had you gone with frankincense, you guys, and your name is Frankie, so it would have made sense. Maybe that's all you needed to be like the next U2 or something.
That's clearly where we went wrong. Yeah, you know what? In retrospect, that was it. That
Can
point
you
right
get
there.
the band back together?
That's the
That's
question.
the question.
Where's everybody at?
I don't even. It's been so long. I'm not even sure. I remember everyone who was in my band.
Yeah, and I remember we stole one of your main members, and I think that kind of fizzled you guys out. I think
Who
you
was
were
that?
done. Ben Moore.
Oh,
Which
really?
one? Really?
Yeah, we stole Ben.
Oh, that's when we were.
I-
That was
I
the new
saw
band.
That fellow.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he moved out this way like a year and a half ago.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, I met up with him for coffee.
That's
He's
awesome.
doing well. I'm happy for him.
that's awesome. Well, so yeah, you reached out shortly after we started the podcast. And I was like, wait, is this Frankie Downs? Like that? I grew up with Frankie Downs, and sure enough. So how did you hear about the podcast?
So it was a very weird, backwards way. But because Facebook, I guess, is always thinking about us, it gave me a friend recommendation. That was you.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, man, that guy. I was
Block.
like, because, every now and then they're like, hey, here's someone you might know. And I'm like, and don't take this the wrong way, but I'm like, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
How's he doing? So I jumped on, and I jumped on your Facebook Like, because they give you like a limited view or something.
Yeah.
And one of the things was the podcast. I'm like, I'll check this out because I would remember how one of the things we would do when we were growing up was just sit and talk.
Yeah.
And it was like, I could listen to that again.
And that's pretty much what me and Christoph do. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it's nice. I like the podcast.
Well,
guys.
that's cool.
It's great, especially when I'm running. It's really enjoyable.
I was curious how you came across it, and then when you sent me a message, I was like, "Whoa, Frankie Down!" So cool. And then since then, so you sponsored our faux segment way back. I think we're on episode 21 now, so it was like maybe our second or third episode. We tried out pho. What are we doing wrong with pho? Why don't we like pho? Pho. Do you call it pho or do you call it pho?
You somehow got one. You somehow got one that tasted like black licorice.
Yeah, it was original NyQuil flavor.
Oh,
it was real bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
is that how it's supposed to taste?
Like you guys, like
that could be.
I've never had that.
Is there a chain of pho? Do you call it pho or pho?
Pho. I mean, when I was introduced to it, it was pho. Yeah. But I also don't hate on anyone that says pho because I see letters and it really looks like pho.
It does look like pho. Is there like a chain we should try?
I haven't found any specific chain.
Okay.
Every place I've had it has been kind of like mom and pop or at most regional. Gotcha. And I say that in a very considerate way in that I think I saw another one of them once.
There's two. They're regional.
So, okay, well, the next time we're out in Maryland, you got to show us a pho place.
Yeah, definitely.
And we got to try that out.
Totally.
So then
that'd be fun.
That led to the hot and savory that you sent us, and
the Huel.
I stared at this thing for 3 weeks. It was on my shelf, and I kept forgetting to bring it in on podcast nights. And I stared at it, and I was like, "Is this a prank?" I could not figure out why you sent it. I'm like, maybe he's a health food nut. I mean, he seems like a healthy guy on his pictures. Is this a prank? Is it going to be super hot?
Is that a regular for you, Frank?
Not at all. It's horrible.
So I don't think I've spilled the beans yet on because you and I talked privately about why you sent it to us. But tell the audience why exactly you sent that to us.
Yeah, so there's a bit to it on that. With the work that I do, so I work from home, and I have since 2016. That's been kind of crazy. I went from working the furthest from a home office you can think of, in like basements of places, locked in like bank vaults, and then in random work locations around Earth, to I'm at home every day, and that's where I am, right? And one of the things I would forget to do, and I don't know if it's because, the environment I'm in, or also because since I've become an adult, this will be a shocker for you guys, I've been diagnosed with ADHD. Then
it checks out.
It could be, yeah, right? Totally checks out. I mean, they told me that, and I was like, oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
It's like parting in the clouds. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But with that, you can either forget to eat, which happens a lot, or in either of those scenarios, either your environment or, people with ADHD suffer from, they forget to eat. And so with a busy schedule that I would have too, I didn't have a lot of time to eat. So I saw this stuff online, and they're like, hey, you can just shake this up and eat it. And I've never really liked those shakes or anything like that.
Yeah.
But this one looked like kind of like chili. And I'm like, I do like chili. And they're like, just pour hot water in, wait 4 minutes, boom, done. No mess, no fuss.
Instant chili.
I was so excited, guys. I was so excited. I bragged to my wife. I was like, baby.
Oh, you pre-bragged.
I've got the solution. And I almost threw up.
It looked like chili for horses.
Well, I'm glad we didn't offend you with our review of Huel.
You didn't offend me. So then when you guys are like Christoph, you especially will say, hey, if you can fry it, I'll try it, and stuff like that.
That's right.
I'm like, well, in the right lighting, this looks sort of fried.
You should have seen us trying to make. We should have filmed us trying to make it really because
there's no scoop.
Yeah, there's a scoop, and we're like googling like how much is in a scoop. We were like, you ever seen that scene from Zoolander where they're trying to break into the computer and they're hitting the side? That was pretty much us with a bowl pouring in it. Like we could not figure this out.
Well, first Josh was like, I'll just Google it. Like we got to know.
Yeah,
Huel's got to tell you the size of the scoop, and it says, whatever it is, 100 grams or something.
Yeah.
And then, so all we have is measuring cups in the kitchen. I'm like, well,
Right, because then like they do grams and you know like units used around the world, but not here in the States.
No,
They
no.
might as well have told you pour in Celsius.
Right.
I even asked Siri, like, what does this convert into? She's like,
It
doesn't
doesn't
convert.
It doesn't.
Okay.
So we guessed.
Well,
So, but yeah, no, that's why I sent it out to you guys. I was like, well, if they're looking to try something crazy, here we go.
I thought that
And,
was hilarious that you didn't like it either. After that made it
No.
way better to me.
Yeah, that
'cause
does
like,
make it better because
yeah.
I thought maybe it was.
Now,
like,
I will say this about it because I don't want to talk utter trash about the whole company.
Right.
They do have
They are
two
sponsored.
products that right. They do have two products that I drink sometimes, and it's okay. And
Huel vodka.
it's the coffee flavor and banana.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coffee and banana.
So they're like, are they like protein shakes or what?
So their whole thing is they say and Christoph, I don't even know what the difference is with this stuff. Like maybe there's protein in it, but they're like, but we're not protein shakes. We are the complete perfect food. And I'm like, okay, complete food. Well, complete food tastes like complete trash.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. It looked pretty bad. There was nothing saving it.
So I don't know if I can ask this, but I was curious as you were talking about your work situation. You said you've been in basements around the world and in bank vaults. So this sounds like a security type position. Is it something you can talk about?
yeah, I found employment. It's been okay.
That's government contractor speak for.
So no,
that's
yeah, I
need
can
to
talk
know.
about it. It's no, I have, and I've talked about it on other podcasts and stuff. I was hired by NSA right out of college, which was kind of unexpected to say one word about it. And they trained me up and had me do a lot of work out of Fort Meade. And they, when I'm talking about vaults and stuff, like if you ever experience in buildings that things like that occur and there's naturally a great deal of security and they lock you out and then they lock you in.
Right.
And then, so I did that. And then I got into cybersecurity because apparently that's what they do there. And, I didn't have any idea about any of that. So that was a wild ride. And then, and then I did leave after 5 years and do the government contracting, like you mentioned there. Traveled to the irony is I did not join the military because I didn't want to go to Afghanistan or Iraq, and I went there twice anyway with them. And then fun times,
All right.
fun times. And then since then I got out.
The jewel of the
doing
East.
that kind of stuff for 10 years and do cyber private or for public organizations and travel around that way.
So you're
not at home.
basically Jason Bourne, is what you could have said.
I get that.
Jason Bourne.
You know,
with a computer.
I get that joke a lot. I get that joke a lot because my wife was like, wait a second. She read up on that Jack Reacher?
Yeah.
The Tom Clancy guy.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Jack Ryan. Whatever.
Yeah, Jack Ryan.
But like he's got a friend. He's got a character, and he's married to a woman named Catherine, and I married a woman named Catherine, and then they have a daughter named Catherine, and ours is Catherine Jane, and then he's got a friend that's a rabbit, and one of my friends from work is literally his nickname is Rabbit. So it's nuts.
Creepy.
But, yeah,
everything's connecting.
It's nothing nearly as dramatic or as
So
exciting
without
as the
admitting
books.
it, you just told us you are the character from that novel.
Yeah, that's it. And if you believe that, buy all the Bitcoin and Ether tomorrow. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to help us out with that stuff because we got no idea.
Buttcoin.
Buttcoin was real. And,
That's right.
I don't give advice on stuff like that, but
Oh,
I can
okay.
help you money launder or show you because that's what a lot of that is.
Well,
So.
we'll call you off the air for that one. And did I see that you were on like some major? I mean, maybe you've done plenty of this, but were you on like a news show or something, or interviewed on some show?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've done a couple things like that.
What's the
So
biggest one you've done? Brag a little bit.
Oh, all right. I did CNBC.
Oh,
I did ABC, but that was a regional affiliate.
okay.
I don't know if that matters.
that counts.
I don't know. I just do what they tell me to.
Yeah.
Right?
Are there clips out there
There's a
of
bunch
Frankie
of
on the
I've
news?
lost track. Yeah, I've lost track of all the news interviews that are in the articles or that are
Yeah.
written online. I had one that came out yesterday.
Really?
If you want to know more about how people can track you with your GPU usage in your systems.
I did. I read something that you posted something, I don't know, maybe in the past month of an article, and I read it, and it was like a legit, and I was like, I can't believe this is Frankie that I used to hang out with
Right?
that would run across his pool in the winter. Do you recall that story? I told that story a while back of you.
My parents made sure I wouldn't forget. So, yeah.
That's one of the best. I have it on video somewhere, and I need to track it down so we can share it
Yeah.
with the world. But yeah, I
The
remember
real thing that failed me there was instead of hiding the evidence of the wet clothes,
Yeah.
I just put them in the hamper with everyone else.
Oh, good. Yeah, good plan.
Those were good times. I just remember Frankie saying, "It can hold an elephant." And we're like, okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, it probably could.
And to be
but
fair, I didn't drown.
You didn't drown.
That's right.
And it was winter. So that would have sucked. Christoph, you got any questions for Frankie?
Yeah, he threw an acronym out there, and he's got to understand the intellect with which he's working right now. So you said people can track me with a GPU. I don't even know what that is.
So there's been some research that's come out. So it's different depending where you live and the different legislation that governs things such as privacy. But as you know, I'm sure like cookies and stuff have been used in the past to track you, things that were in your browser. And over time, people have become more able to block them with things like ad blockers, et cetera. So then they started tracking you. And these are primarily, people who want to make money off you, like sales organizations and stuff like that. They would track you over like your phone's battery information and charge level and things like that. And then there was things that came out that said, well, that's too far. We're not going to allow that. They're like, okay. And now they've done it by tracking GPU heuristics, right? And statistics that are affiliated with it, meaning you have a signature that is unique to each of your GPUs and GPU usage that they can track. And it's not like GPU is your graphics card, basically, right? That make the graphics on your computer, your graphical processing unit.
Even on your
phone. You're not going to rip that out of your phone each time and you want to swap it and all that. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty gnarly. I mean, they found a good one this time.
Let me ask you this. Overall, from a cybersecurity standpoint, how scared should we be? How creeped out should we be?
I do get that question from time to time. I can tell you this. You can live life however you want. I have embraced the void at this point, basically. There's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. Yeah, I mean, Facebook is an example, whether you want to qualify them as good or as bad or whatever Facebook is, right?
Yeah.
And they can track people, and they've shown it, and it's been revealed, they can track people who don't even have accounts with them.
What?
Your
So
phone,
crazy.
you don't even have to own a smartphone anymore. People around you have smartphones, and they have, cameras, and more importantly, everyone's like, oh, the camera, they can see. More importantly is the microphone and stuff like that. It's gone, and people offer it up. People just are like, yeah, sure, I want the service, so here's XYZ.
Right.
We as a society, but here's the other part. Who cares? Like, no one's going, what's Josh Kennedy ordering off of Amazon on Tuesday night? Oh, man, more soap for his family? I mean,
that's kind of
I'm sure you have wonderful soap. But.
I do. That's kind of my whole feeling with it is if I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not too worried about it.
Well, even if you are doing something wrong, it's hard for people to even notice.
True.
Here's a question for you. You might have to dig deep because this is before your time with the NSA, I assume. You must have still been 2000. How old were you in 2000? You were still in college, right?
I turned 16 in 2000.
Oh, you weren't even in college yet. So this is before your time. Did you know anything about thin thread? Have you ever heard about that?
I can't talk about things that have details.
Okay. So that's a yes, and
Sorry.
we'll move on.
Well, we knew a guy, Christoph, one time that did something similar to what you did, and he would not use a cell phone.
He didn't own a cell phone.
He didn't own a cell phone.
He worked at Fort Meade NSA, and he said, I can't bring it in the building, and
That's true.
I just don't need it. I don't have it. Everybody else has one if it's ever an emergency. Otherwise, I don't need a cell phone. I bet he still doesn't carry a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you get a lot of people like that in organizations like that because I'll give you two examples. So yeah, I believe that story 100%. I also knew a person who had a raccoon skin hat that wore it all day, every day, to every meeting and every event, and didn't take it off.
At the
You
NSA?
have you have another person
Wow.
who was so agoraphobic that they would park in their garage, right? And they would drive to work and they'd be afraid of outside. So they would meet with one of the police officers there. They'd do the open door real quick, run in, jump in, okay, and then I'll take you directly to the front because they were so good with numbers, for example. So
Wow.
another person just had
something
Barbie
happens to
limbs
you.
on the outside of their car. I don't know why.
They had what?
Barbie limbs, like
Oh.
they strung up like they were Christmas lights. I don't know how that was legal on the road either.
I think
But,
something
yeah,
happens
all around
when
their
you're
car.
like super genius,
Super smart.
right?
Yeah, like that movie,
Yeah.
Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot more convenient to have a Paul Bettany though tell me I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of like I can never take off this hat since I was 12.
Well, the guy I'm talking about who didn't carry a cell phone, we met one day after both of our work. Mine was much less secure than his because I was in construction. And he shows up and he's got like this ratty old sweatshirt on. Like it was his college sweatshirt, but it was like 25 years old, right? And it's got holes in the elbows and the cuffs are all chewed up because it's just old, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said, man, you just threw that on after work? He's like, no, I wore this to work. I said, you wore that to the
yeah.
NSA? He said, yeah, I had a briefing with high-level officials today, and I always wear this sweatshirt. This is my briefing sweatshirt. I'm like, man, I just thought it was like suits and
Men in Black.
formal, but dude, if he's got the briefing sweatshirt, there's Barbie limbs and a raccoon hat. That sounds like a place I want to work.
Yeah. Sounds legit.
One of my bosses who is still there would brief Trump in a Washington football team sweater.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just like
I guess when you get to a certain level, you just do what you want.
I feel like Trump would just have Big Macs always at the ready, like he has a McDonald's that was open in the White House, and so when you go to brief him, everyone gets a free Big Mac or something. Doesn't it feel like?
Well, didn't he do that?
or you guys remember those Big Mac coins they had a few years ago?
Vaguely.
Right? Where to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Big Mac, they're like, here's your Big Mac coin.
He gives everyone a Big Mac.
He's giving away.
He's got a slot machine in the office. He does have casinos.
You've heard of Bitcoin? Here's Maccoin. It's better.
Oh, that's
No, not the butt coins. The Big Mac coins.
Well, Frankie, it's been good reconnecting, and I think we should do this again, especially if there's something in the news that pops up, and we could use your expertise. It'd be nice to have you on the dial here.
It's really good to have a smart friend. That's what we're discovering. It's important to have smart friends for us.
Yeah, we're reaching the smart audience
appreciate
tonight.
The compliment.
How much money do we have? You offered to help us launder money. How much money do we need in order for that to be effective? Because
to be clear, I offered to show you how you could potentially launder funds.
Right. So how
Should
much
you choose to pursue that?
How much illegal gains do you need to have in order for that to be something you're looking into?
I mean, blockchain, the technology is so applicable to so many things, that, especially with crypto and the anonymous nature you have with it. It's so easy to launder $1, dude. So if you want to hide $1, cool. There's no scale anymore.
Christophe's
You have
got
to have
dozens of bucks. So.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't understand most of what you just said.
No worries.
Yeah, so you'll have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to send us something on Facebook.
You lost me at laundry.
We're washing black chains. That's what I figured out.
Well, Frankie, thanks for allowing us to give you a call, and thanks for supporting the show.
Super friend Frankie.
Yeah, super friend Frankie. I'm glad that we've reconnected.
I'll keep sending you some weird food as I find it.
Awesome.
Anytime, we'll always try
forward to it.
All right, man.
All right.
Have a good night.
one.
Thanks,
Peace.
buddy.
And that was Frankie Downs.
Frankie Downs.
All right. Well, we'll be right back in a moment.
Peace.
Then we're back.
I like the little bass. Doom.
Yeah. It's a nice little groove.
Yeah,
Groove there.
I dig it.
One of my friends said, whenever you do that commercial break music, I have that in my head the rest of the day. You can get stuck in there.
Oh yeah. What was the show Oh, it was Community. You ever watch Community?
Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons.
Do you remember like the little jazz riff that they would like sing together?
Oh yeah.
That's like an actual
Something about in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's an actual like jazz player. I think maybe he's a bass player.
Oh.
I don't know, bass or saxophone, but anyway, I think it's saxophone because that's the saxophone part in that song.
Saxophone.
It's like no, that's not it because that's
Hold on, what's that?
what's that?
Do you hear that?
That's that pizza talking back.
We did have pizza before.
We did.
Sorry, listeners. I know that's
Domino's. I
gross.
tried to get the Brooklyn style crust, and they messed it up, but the pizza was still good. But anyway, I was just singing the Sanford and Son song, and I can't remember. We'll have to find that community.
I got-
But anyway, it was a real jazz thing, and so I was like, "Oh, I found that album. It's pretty good."
I shouldn't do this, but I have a very funny story when you bring up the Sanford and Son song. You might know
Is
what
this
I'm
Travis?
with Travis, our brother-in-law. One time
I was
we were making
thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it.
we
So I'm
made
glad
it.
you are.
We made. I can't remember where we were at. We were at. All the family was together somewhere, and we made a joke about. I think they may have even been like newlyweds or something. Him and my sister.
They were talking about sexy time.
Yeah, and and so he was going to go up. I don't know. And he was trying to do the bum 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 wow Marvin Gaye,
Yeah.
and instead he did the bum bum wow.
Which is perfect because he's Federalsburg, Maryland,
Yeah,
right? So it was
he's
like, yep, that's the song that
redneck.
plays for
Bum bum wow. Instead, everyone else playing Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. He's playing Sanford and Son. Oh boy!
And he's done it again since, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard it this year. He's done it. So.
Hey, should we do a couple news stories?
You should.
This is important news.
So, 2 inmates. I don't know. We just talked about this recently with who was that killer that got killed in the electric chair?
The killer that got killed,
Bundy, yeah, where he escaped through a vent. Well, 2 inmates, actually 3 inmates, escaped through a Tennessee jail through the air vent, and they are now 2 of them are dead. 2 out of the 3
got killed by the police.
No, well, kind of. Eventually, I guess they split up, and then 2 of them stole a car. Well, they robbed a convenience store, took the guy's car, and then they died in a car wreck.
Here's the thing: if you're breaking out of prison,
Yeah,
if you've figured out a way,
yeah,
right, you've used your evil genius,
yeah.
to crawl through the air vents and get out of prison, your first move should not be a thing that gets the cops on your tail right away. Don't go rob a store.
I mean, that's what happened with Bundy too. Like
man.
he got in a car and he stole a car and then got a ticket, and that's what ended him back in jail.
What part of lay low is hard to understand?
I know.
I mean, these guys go rob a convenience store,
Seriously.
and then carjack somebody.
Here's the other thing. Hey, prisons. Maybe check the air vents
Yeah, maybe-
and the lights. Maybe in the prison. Maybe just in the prison cells. Don't even do the whole building.
Not the whole building, just start in the cells.
Just start in the cells and just check the vents.
Yeah, I mean, the place where they're spending 20 hours a day, just look at that. Make sure it's secure.
You've seen Shawshank Redemption. If they got a poster up, maybe just check behind the poster
That's right.
once a month.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
a great movie that is. Love that movie.
I wish I could tell you he fought the good fight.
Oh, my
I can't do it.
gosh. That's pretty good.
I wish I could tell you.
It's a little deeper.
Okay, a little deeper. I wish I could tell you he fought the good fight.
That's Morgan.
I wish I could tell you.
That's not good.
Yeah, work on it in the car,
I'll work
though.
on it.
It'll get better.
I wish not.
Last
Let's
episode.
keep doing that line the rest of the show.
Don't work on it here, Josh. Shut it off.
I wish I could tell you.
The last episode, I don't know what impression you did, but we heard it. Honey, not that one. Honey was like, "Hey, let's put your podcast on. We're coming back from Zeke's game," and you did some impression. She's like, "He really is good at this."
Whoa,
Yeah.
which one was it?
I don't
I'm
remember. It was
curious
on the
now.
last episode. You broke one out. It was like just in the same conversation.
I have a hard time with. There's a guy named Kyle Dunnigan, and he does the best. Like he does a Biden that's so good.
Yeah.
You're Joe Biden. Like, but I want to do it. But I want to do his impression. So it's like I
an
have
impression of an impression.
to see. I can't do it after he's done it because I want to just do his impression of it. So
That's fine. I won't know the difference.
But if I call him Joe Biden, which is what he, hey Joe Biden, hey, we got a problem here, boys. Yeah, he's a bad dude.
What does he say a lot? He says, "Come on, man."
Come on, man.
That's
Man,
a
come
that's
on.
a Bidenism.
Hey guys, hey, let me whisper a little. Come on.
Where's the whispering coming from? What is
know.
that about?
That's an old guy, I think.
It's
I
not
think.
helping his point.
Yeah, Crackerjack, he's a bad dude. Okay. Hey.
So 2 of the 3 are dead. They died in a car accident. Did they catch the third guy?
No, still at large.
Oh, really?
I believe.
When
yeah.
did he break out?
It does not say. I don't have the whole story in front of me. I just took the headline, but
Yeah, but the two guys that you figured out a way to break out of jail, the first thing you do is rob a store.
crazy.
Gotta lay low.
Yep. We would do it better. That's all I'm saying.
We would.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll speak for myself. I'm not fitting in an air vent.
Yeah.
Maybe you can,
But
I can't. But we figured out a way. If we figured out a way out, we'd be way better.
I was trying to think of an air vent joke, but I couldn't. So I just stared blankly at you.
Gotta be you could edit this one. It's got to be a big ass air vent.
Oh man, is that an air vent for whales? That doesn't make any sense, and that's why I like it.
We should edit that.
There was a. Should edit the last 5 minutes out. We should just end the episode right now. That reminds me of there was a Ben Stiller movie that came. He directed it. That came out. He wasn't in it. It was like a TV movie, and it was about these guys that. It was a real story about this New York jail where these guys escaped. I can't remember what it's called, but look it up.
Dude, that's Wild. Remember Wild Bill, the drywaller I told you about?
Yeah.
He tracked those guys down in upstate New York.
Well, and they both died.
He's
they both
part.
ended up
He's part of the
kicking it.
militia that the state police and the FBI hired because they could track people in the woods.
What was that movie called? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
It was a great movie.
I saw it.
Or it was a
Good movie.
miniseries. It was a miniseries.
Yeah, true story. Happened not far from where
Yeah.
we lived in New York.
Yep.
It was just north of us. And that dude, Wild Bill, the drywall installer,
Well, the one guy's plan was to get to Canada,
Yeah.
so he was trying. Yeah,
they were close.
They were.
They
The
got
one
pretty
guy got
close
real
to the-
close.
Yeah.
And then he walked away from a cop in a field, and the guy. Oh, it's a whole. It's a good, good little miniseries.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, his SpaceX, says a geomagnetic storm wiped out 40 out of the 49 Starlink satellites that it launched into orbit last week. So, do you know what a geomagnetic storm is?
Is that from the sun? No, that's solar.
I don't know. It says geomagnetic storms are triggered by disturbances between Earth's magnetic field and charged particles from the sun, known as solar wind.
Yeah.
If you ever watched that movie,
It knocked out 40 of the 49.
40 of the 49.
How much did that cost?
I don't know. I was looking for that in the story. It didn't say. Yeah, but they burn. I guess the satellites will burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, but won't produce orbital debris. So. What's that movie with Gravity? I think it was called Gravity, where they have a geometric storm. Magnetic storm.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah. So that must suck. That's got to be billions of dollars, I'd imagine.
I think you got insurance.
Yeah, probably.
Do you have like rocket?
Maybe he is the insurance.
Rocket launch insurance.
Yeah, I don't know.
If your stuff goes crappy halfway up, get your money back.
Well, as he said to someone, when one of his rockets exploded, he said, "That's what rockets are supposed to do."
That's what they do.
Or maybe you told me that. Yeah. That's what rockets.
I love that response. What do you have to say about so many of your test rockets exploding? That's what rockets do.
That's what rockets do.
Yep.
We were talking.
Touche, Elon.
We were talking recently about skiing and people crashing into trees, and it seems like it's happening a lot.
Yeah.
Just this week, 77-year-old skier found dead after slamming into a tree at a Colorado resort. Ugh. It was a 77-year-old woman had been skiing at Eldora Mountain Ski Resort. I feel like I've skied there before. Sounds really familiar.
I've never skied off the East Coast.
Oh, really?
I've never skied in Powder.
That's really different in Colorado.
Never skied Powder. Always that packed, hard, icy stuff on the East Coast.
Oh, you'd like it. Anyway, on
I'd
Tuesday.
like it because I fall a lot.
Last Tuesday, she collided with a tree. The resort ski patrol and authorities from several agencies rushed to help, but it wasn't happening. She was gone. But here's the deal.
What's the age cutoff for skiing, you think?
I don't know. 77's up there.
Seems like,
I can't imagine skiing.
Can you imagine
like
Joe
your
Biden?
body could,
do you think Joe Biden can go ski down a mountain?
I can go down the mountain. Direct Joe Biden.
I'm just stealing that guy's bit.
Biden, Trump, any of those guys going to cruise down a mountain on skis?
Cornhusk taught me to ski.
Um,
and they love touching my leg.
I guess she was wearing a helmet.
Wait, what a creepy old dude. Okay, go ahead.
Only because I'm doing it. Yeah. Well, it's just a stutter.
You're quoting him, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, she was wearing a helmet?
And they love touching my leg.
She was wearing a helmet. Here's the thing. At least 2 others have died at Eldora Mountain Ski Resort this ski season.
Okay. Yeah.
In December, a 60-year-old man died after I'm sorry to be laughing. After crashing into a tree In the same week, another skier died at Eldora after colliding with a snowboarder. The resort told the Denver Channel the skier was wearing a helmet and it was not crowded when the two collided. And I apologize for laughing. Earlier when I read the story, I read it as he died colliding with a snowmobile.
Oh,
so in my head, he's crashing in. They're not a crowded mountain. Yeah, it was a snowboarder.
But look,
that made it less funny. But
you got 3 old birds dying on the mountain. You need to figure something out.
Yeah,
right. There's some problem that you haven't figured out yet.
Cut off.
Well, it's either age cut off or right. You got AARP lanes only. Like, hey, retired folk, scree the green circles.
Yeah.
Right. You got green circles, blue squares, black diamonds. Stay on the green circles, old people.
Yeah, what would be the symbol for an elderly part of the mountain?
It's a green circle with a cane in it, or a walker, right? The walker green circle.
We got to get the crack pipes off of the mountain. That's what Cornos told me. He said no crack pipes on the mountain, and he loved rubbing my leg.
And every impression with they love rubbing my leg.
Every Joe Biden statement ends with that.
Hey, come on, man.
We should. That'd be great. Like a spoof news clips is just Joe Biden's speeches. You're like, Joe Biden had a presser today, and then he does the whole thing, and then the end of that clip is, they love rubbing my legs.
2 people from Scranton, Michael Scott, Joe Biden.
What if Joe Biden loves The Office, I might have a new respect for him.
I'm sure he's never heard of it.
He
and if
probably
he has,
can't remember if he watched it.
Old story. This is an old story I had from a while, but for $84,000, there was an artist who was tasked with creating 2 works of art, and he returned 2 blank canvases. And the title of his art piece was,
I got your money.
Take the money and run. And his quote is, the work is that I have taken their money, artist Jen Hanning said of his new piece. The Commission Museum in Denmark isn't satisfied with his explanation, but is displaying the work nonetheless. So they're still putting it up in the museum. But it's just 2 blank canvases that they gave him to $84,000 for him to just turn back and say, take the money and run. Kind of funny.
It's like the Banksy stuff, but his is real art.
Yeah.
But did you see the one he tried to shred and only shredded halfway?
Oh, my gosh, that was awesome.
It shredded halfway, and now it's selling for, like, it's resold.
Oh, it only did
again.
halfway? I thought the whole thing did.
No, it was supposed to shred all the way through, and it
stopped.
stopped. And so now the work of art is the whole thing with half of it shredded, and it resold for millions upon millions of dollars.
Huh.
And nobody knows who this guy is.
Yeah. Somebody knows.
Hunter Biden.
I know who it is. It's Cornjack, man.
It's Hunter.
Hey, come on, guys. It's Cornjack.
Wait, it's all coming together. Art, Joe Biden,
whoa,
crack pipe.
We
it's
just
Hunter.
Discovered something here on this, man.
We've solved another riddle.
First we figured out Sunkist was the best orange soda,
Right. Yep.
and now we figured out
Important
Hunter
information.
Biden is Banksy. You heard it here first.
That's right. And Joe Biden, that's why the crack pipe thing's happening. That's why the art deal thing's happening. Yep.
Come on, man. Why are you blowing my cover, man? Cornjack, man. And they love to touch my leg.
Every time.
This has been Important News.
Well, if you didn't know it already, Joshy,
Yeah.
Monday's Valentine's Day. Have you made plans yet?
I did.
Sounds like no.
So I kind of did. I've gotten some gifts for the kids because for some reason we have to make Valentine's Day Christmas and we have to do a gift, and I don't know why we started this, and then
we don't do that with Valentine's Day so much, but Easter.
Maybe I should save all this crap for Easter.
Easter's starting to feel like Christmas.
Yeah,
like with the giftiness.
Shouldn't be.
No.
Why do we got to turn everything into a gift-giving event?
I don't know. Because we love our kids.
Yeah, I guess.
So, look, you got 5 kids. Ages
unknown.
1.
Not quite 1.
Is it unknown their ages or the number of kids?
Oh, wait, he
you
is
have?
1.
Yeah, he just turned
He is
1.
1.
Yeah,
I'm
I had a
an
birthday
idiot.
party. You were there.
Yeah.
1 to how old's your oldest?
Going to be 13 in April.
1 to 13 are their
Crazy.
age ranges. So here's something that'll knock your socks off.
Yeah.
And I love to touch my leg.
When your youngest graduates high school,
Oh, my gosh. Yeah?
your oldest will be 31.
Yeah. We go through all this all the time with them because Daisy's like me, where she time fascinates.
She's
her.
going to be 31.
So she's like, yeah, I could have my own kids by the time he graduates high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we talk about like Jesse's like, man, I'll be driving by the time he's in like first grade. Jesse will be driving.
You'll be 57 when he graduates high school.
Wait a second. Is that accurate? Well, 56.
56.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty young, Dad, I think. It's not too old.
I mean, at least you're not retired at that point. Maybe you will be retired.
Yeah.
I got a friend who's going to be 53. He's retiring a week from Friday.
That's so crazy. I do wish sometimes, like, I should have been a fireman because I'd be retiring next week.
Yeah, fireman, police, any military service.
Or I would have died in a fiery wreck 2 years ago. And that's the second time I've referenced fiery wreck. So hopefully,
Third time's a charm.
I'm taking a trip.
Third time's a charm, buddy.
Ooh, this could be a real awkward podcast.
You got 5 kids, 1 to 13.
Yeah.
Do you and your wife do like a Valentine's date night thing?
I normally will, because we don't normally go out anymore, even for our anniversary. I'll normally go to the grocery store and I'll pick up, shrimp and steak, and I'll do it up. So that's normally what we do is after kids go to bed. I play a little Kenny G, play a little candles, and make a little steaks and butter.
That's for you, Travis.
He won't listen to this.
We should send. Does he not listen to our podcast?
I doubt it.
How dare he?
How dare he? He's driving all the time.
Yeah.
Listen to the podcast.
He's got the time.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, tell him to listen.
Hey, Corn Jack, you got to listen to the podcast, man. Come on, man. Come on. Hey, come on.
Oh.
And he loved to touch my leg.
I hope the listeners and the viewers enjoy that as much as I do, because you can do it again and again, and I'll keep laughing.
Speaking of really bad jokes that just keep going on, should we do some dad jokes?
We haven't done dad jokes in a while.
I think we've only done it once. I think it might have been our second episode. So
all right.
we're probably due.
Ladies and gentlemen, ripped from the headlines, tore from the pages, I present 2 Broke Dad Jokes.
That's another good groove right there. I mean, this is good, but the intro even is good.
I like to have a little something in the background, but maybe it's annoying.
No, I like it. Fire away, dad jokes.
First of all, let me just say, because I always get a little self-conscious with these. Admittedly, they are not funny. They are dad jokes.
They're supposed to be bad.
And telling you that, and some of them are not funny at all.
And some of them I didn't even get.
Some you didn't even get, which we should review that, because I'm interested in which ones you didn't get. But telling you that is how I sleep at night, so I can, at least have a little credibility. The Illinois Department of Illinois. The Illinois Xylophones. That should be their state.
That's their mascot.
The
Xylophones.
Oh. Come on, man. The Illinois... I almost did it again. I never say Illinois. See, it's got in my head.
Yeah.
The Illinois Department of Health says an elderly man died from rabies after waking up with a bat on his neck and refusing rabies treatment. It's the first case in the state since 1954.
Causes an irrational fear of water.
Well, at least he died doing what he loved. Died with a bat on his neck. That's the joke. Okay. They're not getting any better from here.
That's the best one.
Rare Pokemon. Rare Pokemon Oreos. Sound like an old man saying Batman. Batman. Rare Pokemon Oreos are selling for thousands of dollars on eBay. They're Oreos, but they're selling for thousands of dollars. One cookie featured a rare Pokemon and sold for $15,000 online, giving a new meaning to the catchphrase, gotta catch them all. Well, that sure beats my Mickey Mouse turd Chips Ahoy. A crypto trading hamster has performed better than Warren Buffett.
No.
And the S&P 5000. The hamster's name is Mr. Grox, with 2 X's, and he enters one of the 2 tunnels in his cage, which determines whether he will buy or sell. And as of Friday, his portfolio is up nearly 20% according to his Twitter account. Mr. Grox.
Isn't it S&P 500?
What did I say, 5,000?
Yeah,
it says 500 right here on my thing.
Oh, okay.
Now, it's said that when he's not picking winners, the hamster can be found making Chips Ahoy cookies. Wait, what?
Oh, I see what you did
That's a
there.
tie together.
I see what you did there.
Sisu,
Nice.
the polar bear in Yorkshire Wildlife Park, got a root canal surgery to fix a very painful broken tooth.
A polar bear?
A polar bear got a root canal. The relief was short-lived, however, as the bear realized the zoo's dental plan only covers 30%.
A bear got a root canal?
Bear got a root canal. How do you even know that the bear, that's what's hurting the bear?
They did the x-ray. Why not just pull the
I
tooth?
guess so.
What happens to that bear in the wild?
It's true. I don't know.
It'd rip its own tooth out, probably. It'd go full castaway.
Yeah, what would it do?
Find an ice skate.
Oh, man, that scene.
And bust that thing off.
A motorcycle tire was removed from a crocodile's neck after 6 years. The 13-foot crocodile that had a motorcycle tire stuck around its neck for 6 years in Indonesia was finally freed thanks to the efforts of a local resident. Wildlife officials in the country said the crocodile, who was living in Palu River, was first seen with the tire stuck around its neck in 2016, and repeated efforts to capture and free the reptile failed. Boy, that Crocodile Dundee is out of control. It's a real piece of work, I tell you. That's not a bike. This is a bike.
I didn't know where the joke was
dumbest one.
going. It was dumb.
It was dumb.
But it landed.
Yeah.
It did land.
Just got a few more here for you. Britain's oldest pub closed. Ye Old Fighting Cocks, a St. Albans, true, that's the name, didn't make it up. Ye Old Fighting Cocks, a St. Albans, England pub that's purported to have been in business for, do you want to guess how many years?
It's the oldest pub in England?
Oldest pub in England.
Oh, 400 years?
1,229 years, announced that it is closing down due to financial problems that worsened during the COVID pandemic. The original jar of pickled eggs probably didn't help.
No. But seriously, you think somebody's going to buy that up, right?
Well, I get, yeah.
Somebody's going to buy it and keep it open.
I guess the owner said they're going to try to keep it open with new managers or something. So,
yeah, if you're 1,200 years old, somebody's going to.
yeah,
somebody wants to keep that
You
going.
think it's a landmark that England would be
1,200-year-old pub.
1,200.
Think of the people that got verschnickered in
Jesus
there.
probably drank there. That's a bad joke.
With Jesus?
No, he wasn't even alive then. Doesn't make sense. Don't think too much. But I'll tell you who did drink there. Hey, it's Corn Pop, man. Come on.
He's about that old.
He's about there. David Rush, who has broken more than 200 Guinness
Yeah,
records
that's
to promote STEM education. He set a belatedly festive Guinness World Record by balancing a Christmas tree on his chin for 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 5 seconds. If you think that's good, wait till you see what he can do with the chocolate Easter bunny.
You know how
I
they
like
say
that one because that's a choose your own adventure. I don't give you the
that's
answer
right.
to that
There's
one.
a couple ways you could go. You know, they say that records are meant to be broken. I think there's some records that just shouldn't be set.
And I guess
like,
the
who
previous
cares?
the
Who
previous
cares about-
record was 1 minute, so he wanted to go above and beyond. Like
Like,
do
who
2
cares?
minutes, dude.
Who cares? That's a record is stupid. Balancing a Christmas tree on your chin.
It's real stupid. And finally,
Do you get paid by Guinness for setting records?
I don't think so.
I'll start aiming
Oh,
for
that
something.
could be a
dumb.
part-time job. I could do dumb crap all day. I
Yeah.
do dumb crap all day.
I do.
I do. And finally, save the best for last. A zebra that escaped from a Maryland farm has died, officials say.
In the
According to
snow.
officers, the escaped zebra was found in a snare trap close to the property.
Oh, no.
Gives a new meaning to the joke. What's black and white and red all over?
That's bad.
Oh, yeah. That was smooth.
And that'll do it for my dad jokes.
I want more of that bass riff that
Yeah.
goes, "Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I like that."
Yeah.
Where do you do you play those and record them yourself? or-
Yeah. Oh, no, the
The-
those are pre-recorded. The music is, for some of them. Some
Yeah.
of them I
I know
record.
I know the vocals are yours, but
Yeah. Some of them are I make, and some
Yeah.
of them are. Most of them on this show are pre-recorded.
okay,
Our theme music is one that I recorded, though.
really,
That's one of mine. Yeah. And our outro music, which I can't even remember what it is at this moment, but
you're so talented.
I am, and that's the point of this podcast is
Is
that
to reveal Josh's talents.
Okay, well that's
He's not
embarrassing.
just good at dad jokes.
I'm not just good looking and can fit through a vent.
Yeah,
I don't know where this is going. Nowhere good. You got anything else to talk to on this fine evening?
No, I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl party.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
looking
be
forward
good.
to the wings that you have hoarded. You know, people got judged heavily for hoarding toilet paper early in the pandemic. I don't hold it against you that you've been hoarding wings.
I will go down with this ship.
I don't hold it against you that you've been hoarding wings, especially because you're bringing them to my house.
That's right. And they're going to be good. And they're going to be plenty. Good and plenty.
Ooh, I hate those.
Hey, Frankie, thanks for being on the show.
Super
We'll have to
friend
have
Frank
you,
Downs.
Have to have on again. And if you haven't already, join our Facebook page.
You gotta do it.
Two Broke Dads Podcast. We have a lot of
Spread
fun
the
stuff
word.
that happens on there. And then our YouTube page. I think we have 11 subscribers right now. But we are doing
11? We can do way better.
We
than
could do
that.
way better. We do have live. Every episode you hear now, there should be up on YouTube as well. So we have all these episodes. If you ever want to see what we're talking about, or
Here's what we need
Yeah.
from our listeners.
yeah,
We need you to tag this podcast to one of your friends.
yeah,
And if you were
Share.
really, hey, go multi-level marketing. Tag to, have them tag to.
that's right.
All right, let's get this going. right?
Yeah.
People need to hear.
We have a good, solid crew that's been steady listening, which is
That's right.
awesome, and
The
our
family.
numbers are
The
there, and they're
pod
growing
squad.
just a little bit here and
Yeah.
there. But yeah, we need to hit the next level.
We got to get to the next level. So spread the word, share it. Do us that favor. Tag somebody that you know would appreciate it. Get the word out.
That's right. And as usual,
You know what we do.
you know how we do it.
Keep it on the
Gooch, gooch.
Gooch, baby.
Peace out.
See ya.
And they touched my leg.